rolling. I'm gonna do a little bit more up like this. So guys, we gonna talk about philosophy of fashion, and I have an expert here who studied that, who supposed to know what she's talking about philosophy, and she loves fashion. So maybe
In the process of becoming an expert, learning slowly.
Okay. What's the philosophy of fashion? Now that you have time.
Philosophy, right, literally means the study of knowledge, and or the love of knowledge, and so it means the knowledge of fashion, and at its core, like what fashion means. There is a philosopher, Roland Barthes, who created a system of fashion, studying fashion as a language, a visual language and a visual culture. So when we think about fashion, we can think of it as a language that we use to communicate ideas to others on our bodies. So we are communicating value systems to people with the clothes that we wear every day, whether it's through the shapes or the colors or the symbols or the bands and
Flavors and smell.
yes, absolutely. The perfumes, the jewelry, the shoes. There are so many things that we depict as values on our bodies and how we adorn them. So we can understand people based on their tastes and how they communicate those to others. Now, of course, this is complicated by our socioeconomic statuses. We can't always choose to dress how we want. We might not always have the money to dress how we want. We might not always live in the climates that allow us to dress how we want. And we might not have families or friends who make us feel safe dressing how we want. So this makes for...
They can judge you?
Yes, they do judge us, absolutely. And we also might not always feel comfy in our own bodies dressing how we want. So there's so much to unpack around that. And especially for designers, building clothing pieces around that allow people to embody their values, their values is such an exciting challenge. And as a model, I love to be a part of that.
What do you think is the future of philosophy of fashion? How do you think it will, like you mentioned, the gentleman who was in the past who wrote the system, what do you think with the AI systems, with the new generations of the ideas, how it will transform fashion, philosophy of fashion?
That's a beautiful question. Thank you. I think it should be led by marginalized groups. I don't think it should be done exclusively by philosophers. I think it should be done by designers, by models, and by voices that have often been silenced. So, I don't think philosophy...
I think they've been silenced for a reason. If they're crazy or they're rapists, their voice should be silent, or they should still have the right to advance their views. What if they're terrorists, or what if they're like not good for the society? Do you think they still have the right to voice?
So I think that's a question, right, about free speech. I do think that for the most part, people should be allowed to voice their opinions. But when I talk about silenced or marginalized voices, I'm talking about the people who are not the ruling class. I'm talking about people that aren't given platforms because of their wealth or because of their social access. I am far from the most marginalized person, but at the same time, I am a woman and I've grown up with a lot of disabilities. So
Can you mention?
Yes, I am a person diagnosed with autism. I was diagnosed in early childhood. So I was a high school dropout. I went back to college. I'm a non-traditional student. And I actually...
What's that mean?
Yes, I homeschooled for a long time, and I've been in and out of school a lot. But I don't know what traditional education means nowadays. And I also spent a lot of time in a wheelchair growing up. So ability is a complicated question to me, but runway walking is very exciting for me nowadays.
Like, how does it feel like, having limited ability to move around, like being in a wheelchair and now modeling? I just saw you this summer for the New York Swim Week. Like, how's that like experience? Does that liberating, or is like are you proving something to yourself, or it's like opening up a new what I'm doing next? What is next for me?
Thank you. Yes, I think I've been proving something to myself for over a decade, to be honest. I think I'm just starting to believe that I'm a capable person in terms of being able to trust in my body that it's not going to fail me, which has been a complicated journey, but I'm the healthiest I've ever been, and my body has been, I guess, like doing its job, if that makes any sense, and it is liberating. It was scary, and I still have insecurity issues around being on the runway, but
What you did swimwear? It's pretty revealing. It doesn't leave much to imagination. You didn't do like a much nudity or like a lingerie, but it's swimwear. It doesn't leave much space on the clothes.
I think when I want to challenge myself, I want to go all the way. So, I might, in some respects, have overcome a lot of those insecurities, at least in the way that I behave. So I'm feeling very empowered.
Like, what does it do next for you? Like, do you want, let's say, your children to see you empowering? Like, do you want the like what does it do like financially like for you? Like, do you get a job, let's say, like as a secretary, like in the big corporations because you model? Because I've seen many girls who did New York Swim Week, they got huge corporate jobs, like working, like literally one girl, she works in the office with 400 guys, and she's the only pretty girl on the floor. And every day when she walks in, and the whole office is waits, what's she gonna wear, how's she gonna look, and she brightens their day. So she's basically like their inspiration, and they 8 hours a day, whatever they look at that computer screen, but they're like the moment that they pass by her, like for the bathroom break or something, that's what basically like she got the job because of those looks.
Yeah, I think it's kind of slowly been dawning on me that it can open doors, and that I can use being perceived as being pretty, I guess, as a tool for good. I would love the opportunity to be in philanthropy and to be a voice for, especially for autistic children, and families that are raising autistic children, or children with disabilities. That's something that I would really love to do.
Okay, this fashion week, in this venue, I had a kid who is artistic, and we did a show with him, and I seen how other children behave around him, and the other parents, they didn't know that he is artistic. So me and the other producers, the crew, we knew, but other parents were arrogant, and felt that he just misbehaved, and he just running around, and I didn't felt that take a mic and explain to everybody what's going on and who that family is. But I think for him, he felt normal because it was not pointed out for everybody else that he is special. He was just thrown to like all the other kids, and he was trying to find his space with other kids. So even though he has his artistic challenges, but at the same time he didn't feel that he had a special treatment. He had the same experience like all the other kids. Yes, he ran around a little more. Yes, his parents were close by, just in case maybe we spill a couple of drinks or something. But overall, I think he, from what I understand from his sister, because he came with his sister, he actually felt more normal during the show rather than when everything is paid for him, and presented okay, let's arrange everything for him so we know what can happen.
Yeah, so I think education around autism, as well as just around what it means for a person to have disability, there are so many different conceptions of what disability even means. It is a social good. That's something that we do in philosophy communities a lot. I would love to help expand that definition and around how each person gets to define their disability.
Morgan, can you do one more plug-in for your social media?
Sure, yeah. You can follow me at Morgan Michelle Modeling on Instagram, as well as at Musefully Morgan on X, formerly known as Twitter.
Cut. Okay, I think should they